Welcome to Combat Sports Talk, a podcast dedicated to UFC and Bellator discussion, the MMA community, and combat sports in general. I'm your host, Ryan Smith, and joining me this week is the man who puts the it in IT, John Keys.
That's right. What I do, I make it look good, and I make it look easy. What's going on, Ryan?
Man, I'm great, man. It's just been so long since we've done this. Like, I don't even know if I remember how to even operate this stuff.
All right, remember, I know there's a lot of bells and whistles and switches there. Just, if it's red, don't touch it. That's all I'm asking.
All right. And that's what she said.
Yeah.
KC is unable to join us tonight. He is a musician at a church, and tonight he is playing music. So the multi-talented and easy-to-hit KC Onyebuchi will not be with us tonight.
All right, well, man, he's rocking for the Lord. Okay, yeah. Man, rock out for the Lord.
There it is.
Till 11, man, to 11.
Well, it's been 3 weeks since we've done a show. During that time, Rory MacDonald defended his title. Lyoto Machida made quick work of Chael Sonnen. The Korean zombie buffer-factored Renato Moicano. You had Gegard Moussasi, who lost his title to Rafael Lovato Jr. Tyson Fury dispatched Tom Schwartz with a second-round TKO. So much action in the past 3 weeks. But now we are back with a UFC stop in the land of 10,000 lakes. That is Minneapolis, Minnesota, for a heavyweight matchup between Francis Ngannou and Junior Dos Santos. This could determine who is next in line for a title shot. But before we get to those results, let's go through all the action in the official decision.
The official decision.
This is the official decision. This is where we look at the results from Saturday night. And this was UFC on ESPN, Ngannou versus Dos Santos. It was June 29th, 2019 at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There were 6 fights on the card. Alonzo Menifield defeated Paul Craig. Now, hey, before we get too far into it, you were saying that there's an undercard fight that you wanted to talk about.
There was, and this dude's name is almost unpronounceable. Give me a second here. I'm glad you brought it up. But he's another fighter from the motherland, okay, of Africa, and he was just a ripped warrior. Okay, I kid you not. He destroyed the guy in the third round. I mean, it was total destruction. Give me like 2 seconds. I do apologize, but continue on. All right, I digress. Continue.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that we did not talk about it. Drew Dober defeated Marco Polo Reyes via knockout in round 1. Vink Pinkshol defeated Roosevelt Roberts in an upset via decision, unanimous. Damian Maia, the most dangerous man at welterweight, according to KC. I'm just kidding. According to me, but only when KC is there. Damian Maia defeated Anthony Rocco Martin via unanimous decision. In the co-main event, Joseph Benavidez, a.k.a. husband of Megan Olivi, defeated Jussier Formiga via knockout in the second round. So that was a great fight because Formiga was actually putting it to Benavidez, but Benavidez turned the tables, and next thing you know, he emerges victorious in the lame duck 125-pound flyweight division.
Yes. Yeah, it was destructive. I was very impressed with this fight, with the entire card. Once again, they did it again. UFC is pulling out these beautiful cards that are not boring anymore. They're actually like you want to sit there and actually watch these cards again. So, kudos to them for able to pull it out once again.
All right. Did you find your card that you're talking about?
I'm looking right now. Give me like 30 seconds.
All right. The man who puts the it in IT.
As I'm looking at, I'm narrowing it down. Where is it? Where is it? Main card preliminaries. What? Dalcha Lungi Ambula. All right. I'll send you this name. Okay, this guy dispatched the guy. I mean, this was his first fight in the UFC. Like I said, to look at this guy, he's built like a tank. There was very little, if any, body fat. But if you look at his legs were deformed. Okay,
Wait, deformed?
Deformed. I will say that. The last time I saw legs like Dragon Ball Z muscular. Okay, all right. It was huge, and I mean, it's just like, and he's from South Africa. He is he does have a judo background, and he was highly impressive. Look for him to continue. He will be back. Okay.
Right. It sounds like you are on the hype train,
dude. Light heavyweight. He fought light heavyweight. He fought light heavyweight, but they say he could go down to middleweight. All right, we just have to watch. All right, so Terry Sokaju, we got another judo fighter. All right, so there you go.
Yeah, so his name was Dalcha Lungiambula.
Yeah.
And he defeated Daquan Townsend.
Yeah. And it was just like the first round was an engagement round. The second round you could have gave it to Daquan, but that third round it was just like they said now is the time. Go ahead and destroy him now. And he came out there and just ran him over.
Kind of like in Rocky IV, whenever the Drago's coach was like, and it was like, okay, now it's time to get her.
I must break him. Yes, exactly like that. It was exactly like that. And he has a killer stare. He has 1,000-yard stare. All right. Uh-huh. And just so everybody knows, he has a 10-1 pro MMA record. So there you go.
All right.
So look out for him, people. He is dangerous.
All right. And in the main event of the evening, Francis Ngannou defeated Junior Dos Santos via knockout in the first round.
We're going to call it knockout, really? I think it was like via one punch man hit. It was via Death Star hit.
So I was talking to Kalechi, man, and KC was like, hey, he felt you oversold that knockout.
How? Okay. Exactly. How do you oversell a knockout like that? I don't think they found Junior's soul yet. It's somewhere still floating around.
I got you. But when you think about the knockout that he put on Alistair Overeem,
okay,
like Overeem was dead for at least 2 minutes.
Yes.
Junior Dos Santos popped right back up. Gave him a hug, and it was like that. So, like, when I think about knockouts that that Francis Ngannou has delivered on people, like debilitating, life-shortening knockouts. I mean, even where, like, you think of someone like, what's his name? Can't think of his name now. Brown Pride. Give it to me. Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez, yeah.
Cain Velasquez. I mean, his legs gave out.
Okay, so let's talk about
like
that.
Junior Dos Santos just turtled up and was like, I'm not going to get out of this.
But see, you're not understanding why he turtled up.
Oh, it hurt.
Oh, no, it didn't just hurt him. In my opinion, he got hit so hard that he did not know where he was. All he knew is that he's about to get hit again, and the only thing he could do until he recovered what his name was and where his mom and dad are right now was to turtle up and regain consciousness. Okay? That's what happened. Because I'm sorry, I've seen hits like that. There's only been one other time that I've seen somebody get hit in that octagon that they did not know, that they had that look of, wow. Man, my room as a teenager is great. It's great to be 14-year-old. Hit again. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm in the octagon. That's what happened to him. He got knocked into the land of confusion. and he did not know what to do but to turtle up. That's what happened.
No, and this is KC's critique of your assessment on text.
Okay. Wait, did I put K-Pow or did I put destroyed?
You put destroyed.
Yes, destroyed. Because it might as well say bye-bye as he.
Okay, because and once he was talking about it, it's unfortunate that you don't get to have this conversation directly with him. That is unfortunate. But he had a point.
Okay.
He had a point. Like, it was a knockout. It scores as a knockout. It scores as a debilitating knockout such that Junior Dos Santos did not make the buffer factor. It's a 2x buffer factor. That means he could have been knocked out 2 times before Bruce Buffer finished announcing that fight.
That is true.
So we're not taking anything away from Francis Ngannou, and it is something to be said about Francis Ngannou's power that you and I are debating on how destructive it is. That's like saying, "Oh, well, that tornado was just an F1." Oh no, that tornado was an F3. No, it's a freaking tornado. Either way, it's a tornado.
We're just gonna call him One Punch Man and call it a night. How about that?
No, I'm quite fond of the One Punch Man. Actually, the reason why we're starting a little bit later than normal is because I was watching One Punch Man. But, and like One Punch Man, Francis Ngannou has a sense of humor. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. But yes, Francis Ngannou. Now we got to ask the question, what's going to happen to Junior Dos Santos? Because now Junior Dos Santos really doesn't have a place to go. He's not going to fight Stipe Miocic. He's not going to fight Francis Ngannou, which are the only 2 people that were ahead of him in the heavyweight ladder. He's now got to start looking down and seeing people like Derek Lewis, like I don't think he's already fought Alistair Overeem.
I don't think they have. Let me see.
So I mean, should Junior Dos Santos continue? Because clearly he's not going to be able to. He's not going to get a title shot.
The best thing for Junior right now, he can become a gatekeeper at best. I mean, unless by some weird fluke they get that he lucks up on a title. Yeah, I don't see, because I'm looking at and they have fought. Alistair Overeem and Sagano have fought. Alistair Overeem beat him in the second round. So we're running out of places for him to fight, and that's the thing, is that what are you going to do? Well, I do have something to say. Hold on before you go any further. That Stipe fight, that could be a trilogy.
Oh, so they split.
Yeah, they split. That can be a trilogy for them.
Okay.
So we have a potential here.
So let's see how this would work out. We would have to go Stipe versus DC, assuming that DC retires after the Stipe fight. Then you would have Stipe versus someone for the vacant title, which would be Francis Ngannou, because Francis has earned his spot for a title shot. That was what after the fight, that's what he was saying to Dana White, is like, basically, yes, who else you want me to fight, because I beat your number 3 guy. What else you want me to do? So it would be the rematch between Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic for the title, and then perhaps Junior Dos Santos could get the loser of that fight.
Yeah, he could, but yeah, he could do that. But we got to put him on a win streak for him to have another title shot. He would have to be in a win streak.
Yeah, but that would give him the win streak, right? Like, that's the thing, is if you give him the loser of the Francis Ngannou and winner of the vacant title fight, because if DC isn't going to continue he's not going to continue to fight at heavyweight. He's going to fight John Jones at light heavyweight. So that would vacate the heavyweight title, which would give Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic the title shot. The loser of that would be the person that you'd fight, Junior Dos Santos.
Yes. Okay, that works. Because I mean, it's not like he's on a skid or anything like that. He's won 3 of the last 4 fights.
Okay, yeah.
So he's not on a bad skid. He's just he's becoming a bridesmaid. That's all.
Bridesmaid.
Never the bride.
There it is. Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's that's the official decision. We're going to go into the next segment. That is Finding the Angles, where we look at the headlines that people are talking about and have been talking about for the past 3 weeks.
Finding the Angles.
This is Finding the Angles. This is where we look at the headlines that people are talking about. It's been 3 weeks. I have been collecting stories for 21 days. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We don't have to give everything the full the whole 9 yards, but I do want to cover some topics and just get some reactions here. So TJ Dillashaw went on Chael Sonnen's podcast and talked about the reason why he took EPO. If you'll remember that TJ Dillashaw, the former 135-pound champion, got popped for PEDs when he went down to 125 pounds to fight Henry Cejudo for that flyweight championship. He got knocked out faster than the buffer factor, embarrassed really, and then got popped for PEDs. And so he talked about the fact that he took EPO to drop weight. One of the things he said was that he was running into problems dropping from 135 to 125. He says, I pushed my body to the extreme. About 6 weeks out, my body started to crash. It started to get tired. I started feeling like I didn't want to get up for practice. And he took the EPO, made 125, but you could tell that he wasn't the same fighter that he was at 135.
Oh, well. I'll accept that too. Okay. They've always, to hear from Team Alpha Male that he's always had a self-conscious problem about his performance, and they said that it was his drive that drove him to take performance enhancement. Okay.
Why is Team Alpha Male commenting on that?
This was they commented on it because remember, TJ Dillashaw have been Cody Garbrandt, Uriah Faber, and several other members of Team Alpha Male came out of the woodwork and was saying that he was showing them how to do it, and it wasn't so he was kind of power gaming it, saying that they didn't say that we couldn't take this, so I will take this type of issue. So they were all commenting when he came out with the sorry not sorry type video that he came out with, that he kind of shed a tear and like, oh, I did this, I'm busted, They were coming out saying that he knew very well what he was doing, and he was very self-conscious about his body. Yeah,
but you got to consider the source too, yeah.
You think it was a bit of a bitter beer there?
Yeah, you're talking about TJ Dillashaw, the snake, if you will, who has decimated Team Alpha Male. Okay. Like they should change their name.
To what? The Team Beta Male?
Team Beta Male, Team Charlie Male, something. I don't know, but not Alpha Male unless TJ Dillashaw is at that gym. Like when he walks into the gym, they become Team Alpha Male.
Wow, you're saying that they all got pimp slapped by Dillashaw.
Name a Team Alpha Male fighter who's beaten TJ Dillashaw. I'll wait. Thank you.
All right, wait. Garbrandt beat him. Okay.
Wait, no, he didn't.
He beat him the first time. No, he
did
not.
He? Did he? Go. Wait. What?
Wait. I'm wrong. I'm thinking. Yeah. There you go. It was coming.
Yeah. I'm saying. So, okay. You can brand yourself Team Alpha Male. It's just becoming less and less credible.
Wow.
Maybe you're Team Alpha Male at a weight class that is not 135 pounds. Maybe at 145 you're Team Alpha Male. Maybe 125. But definitely not 135.
Wow. No love in this joint. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So, yeah, for me, I was starting to like TJ Dillashaw. I didn't like him in The Ultimate Fighter. I always thought he was a jerk. I actually buy into the fact that he probably is a snake. But, the battle between him and Cody Garbrandt, the battle between him, and the Little Don, a.k.a. the California Kid, a.k.a. Uriah Faber, it's entertaining to me. And he's embraced this bad guy image. But he's a talented fighter. It's unfortunate that rather than just accept the fact that he can't make 125, he
was willing to put his body at
he put his body at risk, and I hold him at fault. I think the 2-year suspension is good, and hopefully he'll come back and he'll stop the nonsense and challenge Cejudo at 135. That would be great, because I do believe that Henry Cejudo is the legitimate 135-pound title holder.
Yes,
not 125.
He has proven it. He's proven that he is the Triple C, and we're going to leave it at that.
No, he hasn't. He has not.
Who does he need to beat?
He's got to beat Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Unfortunately, he's got to go to ONE FC to do it.
Mighty Mouse is cool where he at. He's not. Yeah, you're right. He has to go to ONE FC to do it. But in the UFC, he has proven himself. And you know what? To speak one more thing about TJ Dillashaw, I know why I don't like him. You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
William Zabka, and you probably don't know the name.
I don't know the name.
Exactly. But you do know who he plays. He plays Johnny from The Karate Kid.
Okay. Got it. All right.
And he is.
Well, why don't you just call him, like, his mama don't even know his name is William Zabka. His mama call him Johnny.
She calls him Little Willie.
His mama call him Johnny. His mama call him Johnny. I'm going to call him Johnny.
But it's just the point that the dude came to Fan Expo here in our town, and he's a really cool dude. It's just that he has this look about him that he just plays asshole characters. I'm sorry, I just used that word.
Yeah, I got to bleep that out now.
Yeah, bleep it out. That bleep hole characters. That's what he does, And it's just unfortunate. That's what Dillashaw is. He's probably a decent dude. He probably really is, but he just has the jerk aura about him. So
I just want to say that Johnny from The Karate Kid was a victim of a bully by the name of, I was going to call him by his real name, Daniel LaRusso.
That is the theory, and I've seen that theory, and I have to say that you're correct. Okay, you're very correct. Daniel LaRusso was the aggressor in Karate Kid all the way through. And if you haven't, and this is a dirt. I guess this is a promo. If you haven't watched Cobra Kai yet, you really need to watch it.
Oh, okay.
You really do need to watch it. It's really good. It's really well written. Kudos to YouTube video for hosting that. It's worth the watch.
You are the first person, like literally the first person that I have ever heard say that Cobra Kai was good. Like everyone else that I've talked to, they were like, it's a money grab. It's ridiculous. Like you were the first person that I have spoken to that said Cobra Kai is good.
Well, I say it like this. Apparently, it's pretty good for it not only to get a season 1, but a season 2, and now they've been green-lighted for a season 3, I believe.
Wow. Okay. Well, people are watching it.
Yeah, and it's like I said, and it's really, I mean, like I said, there's more to it. If you just look at the first couple of episodes, okay, I can see why people say it's a money grab. But if you actually watch the full first season, and if you still think it's a money grab, then you should just not watch Karate Kid at all. You should just disregard the whole Karate Kid saga. Just go ahead and wipe that out.
Hey, you know what? What I'll do is I'll just watch the remake of Karate Kid with Jackie Chan.
No, let's not do that. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not.
Because that's the real Karate Kid anyway.
Actually, it's Kung Fu Kid, but we're not.
That's why I'm making the joke. For those of you fans out there, I'm making a joke because the most ridiculous thing you could do is the most disrespectful thing you can do to not only Kung Fu, but to the franchise is to move the Karate Kid from Japan to China. Mm-hmm. Like that is the most disrespectful thing you can do anyway, because first of all, those martial arts are completely different. Number 2, there is a history that China and Japan have between each other, and to to move the Karate Kid to China is so tone deaf to the history between Japan and China. Like, that is crazy to me. But we are digressing. We got so much to talk about. We shouldn't even be talking about it. At least it's martial arts related, and that's a thankful thing.
We're just saying that somebody in that meeting should have been like, man, I don't know if we should do that. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, like the people who made the Karate Kid remake clearly were not martial arts fans.
No, they were not.
Jackie Chan, I blame Jackie Chan, to be honest.
Why? Because everywhere else in the world, they called it the Kung Fu Kid. Okay? Only in America did they call it, I believe only in America they called it the Karate Kid. But
Jackie Chan should have set him straight. He's like, listen, I know you want to call this the Karate Kid, but call it something else. Call it Kung Fu Kid in America.
I really wish they would have called it the Kung Fu Kid. I really did, because it would just have made more sense, and they still would have kept a little respect to it as it being a nod to the Karate Kid. Like, hey, here's here's China's version.
Yep, that's it. That's
all they had to do.
You know what? You know what's really getting some publicity?
What's that?
Bellator and Ryzen. They're showing that cross promotion is healthy in MMA. Now, this is something that I put this here, and this was once again this is way back in June 14th, but I put this here because of the fact that I wanted to underscore how this is showing that what we want to see, which is cross promotion fights, is a thing, and it's healthy. It's good. Like, so on June 14th, Kyoji Horiguchi, the bantamweight champion, fought the Bellator title holder Darian Caldwell at Bellator 222. Ryzen's bantamweight champion, 135-pound, defeated Bellator's 135-pound champion by unanimous decision and became their champion. So now you've got a champion who's a champion in two different promotions. Like, that is what we want to see. And it's sad the UFC is not getting in on this action, especially since the ethos of the UFC is to see which martial art is the best. Like, now that we've kind of gotten this mixed martial arts and it's a thing and it's all a blur, it's just a freaking, it's just a big soup, cocktail, melting pot of different martial arts. Now it's who's the best martial artist in the world. And if you create this giant wall around your fighters, yes, you've got the best fighters, but there's some pretty good fighters out there. And Ryzen and Bellator have proven that they've got some of them.
Yes, they do. And but the thing is, the UFC is too arrogant to allow any of their champions to fight another champion just on the threat that they could be defeated. Okay, there's a bit of arrogance there. There's a bit of pride going on. Personally, I would love to see that. I would love to see. I mean, if Dana is so what's the word? Confident of his fighters, I would send them all out. Be like, go get that dude. Okay, he's got your belt. Go get that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the thing. Is if it were me, and I would get it all on one card. I would get all my best fighters. I'd get DC to go after Ryan Bader. I'd get John Jones to go after Ryan Bader. Like, Ryan, you got to fight twice tonight. You're gonna lose both of those belts
easily. Okay.
It's like I would get Kamaru Usman to go after Rory MacDonald.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, think about this for a moment. Think about it. Gegard Moussasi just lost his belt to Rafael Lovato Jr. So you're telling me that Robert Whittaker or Stylebender couldn't take that dude out? Come on.
Yeah.
Like, I would line them up, and then you know what I would do? After I took out Bellator, I would go after Ryzen, and I would collect all their belts and have all their belts up, and then I would Khal Drago all their belts.
Oh wow!
Just melt it down.
into one belt.
Just one belt. Because let me just say, the melted down Bellator Ryzen belts would still look better than that toy looking belt that UFC has today.
That's actually being jeweled out. If you haven't heard,
yeah,
that every time that it's defended, they replace a diamond with a ruby in there,
which is devaluing the belt.
Let's see here. What's this diamond versus ruby?
Which one's more expensive?
I know. I'm asking a very answer that answers itself, but I'm asking a question that will answer itself. But curiosity is killed.
You could surprise me. I'll even eat some crow if a ruby is more valuable than a diamond.
Let's see here. Hold on.
I mean, listen. I know that we don't want to do dead air, but I'm willing to wait on this.
Okay. All right. So, from the Tribune Digital, Chicago Tribune, I quote, "Many colored gemstones are much more valuable than a diamond, but it all depends on the quality, of course. A ruby is," and they put this in bold print, "rarer and more expensive than a diamond."
Oh, wow.
Oh, I learned something new. All right.
Okay. Well, maybe not then.
Man,
you go, UFC. Your belt's still ugly, but at least at least the ruby is better than the diamond. I got you.
And John Jones may be the first person to bling that sucker completely out.
Yeah, he could be. I just have to say that being born in April, the birthstone of April is the diamond, and so therefore I would prefer to have diamonds on my belt.
Well,
so Kalechi, put some diamonds on it, put some blings on it, and then give it back. Okay, so since we're talking about cross promotion, there's somebody who wants a cross promotion, and I don't know if it's a good idea. So in that same card, Dylan Dennis defeated his opponent in like the first round. It was just complete devastation. Dylan Dennis, it's unfortunate because like Dylan Dennis is clearly like an elite level grappler and submission artist. However, because he's only 2-0 in professional fights, they're giving him tomato cans, and it's like, come on, bro. Like, this guy teaches this stuff. Like, he teaches Connor jiu-jitsu. So like, why are you giving him tomato cans? So he calls out John Jones after his fight.
He don't want that. Okay. I don't want him to want that for the simple fact that you know what? I say what I say about John Jones and I stick by it. However, I do not look the gift horse in the mouth. John Jones is a force of nature. Dylan Dennis does not want any parts of that. Not his fists, not his knees, not his elbows, not his feet, not his jockstrap, not his athletics cup, not his mouthpiece. He wants no part of that. Okay, well, he really don't.
Yeah, look, can I just add that Dylan Dennis is a welterweight? So that's 170 pounds versus a 205 pounder.
Now I just really want to see it because that'll harken back to the olden days of UFC where weights was whatever.
Dude, that would be terrible. I would not, actually I would want to see it just because I'd want to see Dylan Dennis's mouth shut. Like, it's funny because John Jones has become the big stick of MMA. Like, okay, if we don't like somebody, let's sick John Jones on him.
He's become the enforcer, the juiced out enforcer of mixed martial arts.
That's right. Well, no, I'm not going to agree with that. I'm going to say picograms. Picograms.
Picogram is still a gram. Okay, last time I checked. Okay.
No, picogram is not still a gram.
It's a gram of sun. It's a gram.
A picogram is less. A picogram is a billionth of a gram.
Dude, you're still saying gram, so it's in there, dude. Okay. Like I said, there have been fighters that have gotten busted for 17 picograms for 2 years. Okay?
I know, but it's interesting, and we'll get to this in a moment. But we're going to talk about the halo effect that John Jones is enjoying right now. But since we're talking about UFC, the rumors are true. Remember, I kind of teased that Dana White would have big news in the summertime, and we're now officially in summer. So the news is going to officially come out, but the rumors are considered true. The UFC is buying Premier Boxing Champions.
Wow. That is impressive.
They are coming into the boxing world. Now, I did what I didn't do because I wasn't thinking about it at the time. Who are some of the premier boxing champion fighters?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question, sir.
I want to say it's let's see, Premier Boxing. They had Coda. Let's see who else they have. Pacquiao Thurman. They're fighting under Premier Boxing Champions.
Really?
Yeah. July 1st. That was that's tonight. What? No, that's the article. It's coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, I think I was going to say it's now.
The article, the date on the article, the date on the article is July 1st, and I'm like, wait, today's July 1st. Wait, they're fighting tonight.
Music was provided by, and we're out. Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got Pacquiao. Like, there's some big fighters on Premier Championship boxing. So
yes.
They got Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, Caleb Plant, Jamal James.
Interesting.
So,
oh wow, they got Adrian Broner. They got the problem. They got the problem indeed.
Yeah, but they also got Brazil too. So if
yes.
they've got Brazil, then that means they also got Deontay Wilder, huh?
I believe so. Let me look here. I'm looking.
Yes, they got Deontay Wilder.
Wow. Now, White did say he wanted to see all the heavy champions. He wanted to see the Wilder. The Wilder versus the Fury. He wanted to see all those super fights. He was saying he was going to make that a mission of life to get those super fights going.
Hey,
so,
guess who else they got?
Who?
Andy Ruiz Jr.
Oh, you kidding me?
They got all the belts.
Have all the belts all the time.
So this is really a coup. Like I wasn't thinking about it in this context. I was just like, oh, they're finally getting into boxing. No, if they buy Premier Boxing Champions, then they are getting some of the world's greatest heavyweights, some of the world's greatest fighters like Manny Pacquiao. Like there's so many great fighters in PBC that the rebranding them as UFC fighters is going to be instant lift.
Guess who else they picked up? I just realized that if they have Adrian Broner,
oh man,
I know Beep. They got Paul Malignaggi as well.
Oh, like we really care about that.
Oh no, I want to see him get beat some more.
We didn't even have it on the run sheet. I should have had that on the run sheet because bare knuckle fighting isn't a promotion that I typically go to for information. So therefore, I forgot that we have to talk about Paulie Malignaggi and
but close enough.
Paulie.
Yes, Paulie.
Paulie Cutface.
Yes.
Versus the GOAT, Artem Lobov.
I think we will have to call him the GOAT now.
No.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, we will have to call him the GOAT because he did pull out the upset. Okay, you can say whatever you want, and I can say whatever I want, but he went in there and he did his business. Okay,
so there you go.
He did his business well.
So be on the lookout. I'm actually excited because when we start talking about boxing, for years when the topic of boxing has come up, I have yawned. I have talked so much smack about boxing because I didn't care. And then Deontay Wilder happened, and then Tyson Fury happened, and then Anthony Joshua happened, and now I cannot freaking wait for heavyweight boxing. I am so excited. I love it. I love it.
I'm going to enjoy this because Mr. White has said that his son will be a boxer in this boxing league.
Oh, I want to see him get beat up.
They're gonna beat him. Oh my goodness, they're gonna anger beat him.
You know they're going to. you know what they're going to do is they're going to give him tomato cans, pad his record, and then you know how they're going to do it.
But who wants to be the stepping stone for the son of the boss?
Depends on how much depends on how much it pays.
Hey man, somebody's gonna say, you know what, this kid needs an anger beating like from Penitentiary 1, 2, and 3. Another shout out, if y'all haven't seen Penitentiary series, y'all what?
No, why would I watch that?
Oh my god. Okay.
Man, you're speechless. I'm getting some lag.
You're getting lag. No, it's me out of just shocked. Okay, so what I'm going to find a Penitentiary series. I got to hear somewhere. You're getting them, okay, and you're gonna watch it, okay.
How about this? If your little weak Vega can beat my Chun-Li, I will watch the Penitentiary series.
Okay, all right.
But no. When Chun-Li beats your little Vega, then I get to pick a series that you haven't seen that you have to watch. A series to be named later.
Oh God, just as long as it's not Toy Story, dude, I'm good.
Okay, you said it. Right. It's recorded. As long as it's not Toy Story, that leaves me a lot of wiggle room.
Yes, it does.
So we're talking about Premier Boxing Champions, Premier Championship Boxing. Let me make it sure I'm right.
Yeah, Premier Championship Boxing.
Okay, Premier Championship Boxing, Premier Boxing Champions. There we go. PBC, Premier Boxing Champions.
Okay.
Of which Andy Ruiz Jr., the 3 promotion belt champion, has agreed to rematch Anthony Joshua, and guess where they're fighting? Madison Square Garden. They're not going back to the UK. So when Anthony Ruiz Jr. Defeated Anthony Joshua, everyone thought, well, okay, so Anthony Joshua is going to get the rematch because it's a clause in the contract, and he's going to go back to UK, and that's where he's going to want to fight. Well, sure, that's where he wanted to fight. That's where he's done all of his fight. But it was announced by the Independent that Anthony Ruiz Jr. is going to rematch Anthony Joshua at Madison Square Garden, where he lost his titles. So they're coming back to the same venue. It's going to take place either in November or December. I am super excited about that.
That, that is a boxing match to end the year on, okay, to ring in the new year. I hope they do it for December. I would watch that just to watch the new year get rung on, because that's going to be oh my goodness, that's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a really good fight.
So here's the catch.
And I don't even like boxing.
I like boxing now. Like I'm down for boxing. You know, the sweet science of boxing. Let's keep it going. Here's the catch though, is that the winner of the rematch has been ordered by the WBO to fight a mandatory challenger, a guy by the name of Alexander Usyk. He's based out of like Belarus.
Oh, boy.
And this guy, he's Ukraine. Sorry. He's based out of Ukraine. He's 16-0. He's got 12 knockouts. And he's like the cruiserweight champion. I'm trying to make sure I'm right on all this. So I didn't know that a boxing federation can declare that you have to fight this guy next.
I guess that's a clause. I guess that's one of the perks of, having an organizational belt rather than have fighters in order. You can sit there and say, okay, you're going to have my belt. This is who you're going to fight. You have to defend this belt against this person. That's not a bad deal. I mean, if you think about it, that makes sure that everybody across all the promotions gets a fair chance.
Yeah, but that's not the fight that anyone wants to see. That's the thing. Like, you've got to balance the two. It's got to be a fight, and before you call me out on it, before KC, whenever he listens to this, I don't want him calling me up and trying to call me. Respect the ladder. Yes, respect the ladder.
Exactly.
However, You've got Deontay Wilder out there. Let's unify the titles before we go and mandate you got to fight some people.
Hey, that's the name of the game. Hey, he's earned his spot. He's probably been sitting there chilling for a minute. He wants his piece of the pie. So if it's not so, I mean, this guy has a 75% knockout rate. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so just send him over there and we'll see what he's about. If he ain't worth nothing, it's not a problem. If he's worth something, well, everybody shouldn't have been sleeping on him.
Yeah, I got you, but I want to see Deontay Wilder fight either Ruiz or Anthony Joshua. I want to see Tyson Fury go in there and mess things up. Like, that's what I want to see. We've got all these great heavyweights. Like, why are we bringing Alexander Usyk into this? Like, is he really that good? I don't know. I'm new to this boxing thing.
12 out of 16 knockouts? Yeah.
And Anthony Joshua is, before the Andy Ruiz fight, he was 22-0 with 21 knockouts.
So, yeah.
So, like, we don't know who he's fighting. He ain't fighting bruisers.
It could be a tune-up match. You never know. You probably just need to try out some new things and just get tuned up for the next one.
Okay. Well, that's what it is. But I want to see Tyson Fury, and I am very quickly getting on the hype train for Tyson Fury. Because So while I was watching or getting ready for the show tonight, I pulled up the Tyson Fury, and the reason why I put Tyson Fury on the run sheet was because before his fight with Tom Schwartz, they were in the back and they were praying before everybody has a ritual before they come out and they perform, but Tyson Fury, who's a well-known born-again Christian, was kissing freaking Deontay Wilder and blessing him and all kinds of stuff after their fight ended in a draw. I thought it was a poignant moment when you're there backstage, they're getting ready to go out there, and he prays a Christian prayer, and then I don't know if it's his coach or his manager or whoever it is prayed a prayer, an Islamic prayer. And then they made a moment for anyone else who wanted to pray. They made a moment for that. And so, in a time and a place in our country and in our world where there's really a lot of intolerance towards other religions and things like that, I thought it was awesome that Tyson Fury was showing how it should be. That all religions can coexist. So, sorry for kind of taking it into that direction, but it was a moment where it stopped and made me go, with all the craziness that Tyson Fury brings to the ring, with all the things that he says, and it was funny because while I was preparing the run sheet, the video of the prayer ended, and then it started playing autoplay on YouTube, and it was like the best of Tyson Fury and all the crazy stuff he did. Like, he's got all this chaos going around him, but he still has a moment like that. I like this dude.
Much respect. Okay. And yeah, we took it to the religious corner of the game, but all religions should be respected. Okay. Because in the great scheme of things, we all have a God that we call God. All right, that we
except for the atheists, they don't have a God that they call God.
Even atheists believe in something. They just believe in nothing. That's still a belief.
Wait, no. How is a belief in nothing a belief in something? Because the never-ending story will teach you that nothing, like a whole, would be something, but nothing is nothing.
The never-ending story. He went there.
Yeah, you end up losing to Chun-Li. You may end up watching Never-Ending Story 1 and 2.
I'm not wrong. I'm not bad for that. I'm good for that. I think my kids watching it with me will be a traumatic experience for them. But yeah. I'm good with 80 movies.
But that's the thing, is that nothing can't be something.
Something. Hey,
because if nothing is something, then it's not nothing.
Exactly. That's my whole point. Okay, that if you have atheism is almost oxymoronic in a sense that atheist believes that there is nothing. That's a belief. That's still a belief.
Well, having a belief is not a that's. I mean, we can replay this, but what you said was everybody has a belief in a God that they call God, and I was like, except for atheists, because they don't believe in a God. So therefore, it's not that there's a belief that it's not a belief. It's they don't believe in a God. So whatever it is that they believe is not a God.
Well, then let me rephrase myself. Everybody has a belief. Okay, everybody does, even atheists. Okay. So with that said, I mean, everybody should have the tolerance to, while you may disagree for whatever crazy reason that you would disagree with, you should all respect. Okay, because that person, that's their philosophy.
Okay.
That's their creed, and they should all respect that.
All right. So that's the thing. But I like Tyson Fury because of the fact that he's a great boxer. His head movement is ridiculous. Yes. He's great on the mic. I mean, he rivals that of a Conor McGregor on the mic. And the dude can sing.
Can he?
Yes.
Huh.
He's got a great voice, too. He can sing. Like, what? Come on, Tyson. What can you don't? What do you don't do? That's what I want to know.
Accept this, sir. I'm finding this. Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury was singing to one of his opponents at one of the, and it was like, oh my gosh, he was singing "Wind Beneath My Wings"
wow.
And it was like, that's actually really good.
That's actually really creepy. Could you imagine him walking to the ring singing "The Wind Beneath My Wings"?
But no. But
I would get out the ring.
But Tyson Fury was saying that he was the wind beneath their wings. Like he was.
I get you.
Yeah,
but I'm still leaving that ring because I'm not winning that match. This dude is crazy.
Listen, I do not ascribe to your belief that weird walkout music is a indication of insanity.
Well, I'm just saying that it's not an indication of insanity. That's just an indication that dude is willing to go all the way there. Okay, he's willing to go all the way there to end you. So I'm like, if this guy's coming out to Wu-Tang, I'm like, okay, I got you, Wu-Tang. But if he's coming out to Celine Dion, we got problems. Okay, I'm looking at the ref like, man, you better watch this fight closely because the moment he hits me, I'm going to hit the ground and I'm not getting up. And I don't care if he taps me. I'm going right to the ground and I'm getting up because I don't want none of that.
The logic doesn't make any sense to me.
Yes, it does.
It does. No, you cannot tell me that the logic makes sense to me. That logic does not make sense to me at all.
It should. Okay, it really should. You really need to go back and look at the entrance music to win ratio. Okay, you really need to look at those, and you'll notice that the ones that win consistently come out to Sarah Brightman's. Time to say goodbye. Watch. They coming out.
Who even walks out to that?
Dong Young Kim, actually. He actually walked out to it a couple times. There are a few other fighters that do it. But the whole point is, if they're coming out to something soft, if they're coming out to Celine Dion, to Sarah, oh God, they came out to Sarah McLachlan, just shut the pay-per-view down. It's over. This guy's going to murder him. Okay? I wish I need somebody to come. That's what I'll do.
All I know is that if all I got to do is play the right music, I mean, this sounds like Iron Eagle. It don't sound like MMA. Like, if I just got to play the right music, then, like, I don't have to fight. So maybe I should be an MMA. I mean, heck, Dead Mouse and Skrillex.
That'll get you beat. Dead Mouse and Skrillex.
I mean, I'm just saying, they're DJs. They should know music better than anybody. It'd be like, what is the softest thing that I can play?
Oh, the softest thing you can play is A Whole New World, Aladdin soundtrack. There you go. Peebo Bryson. There you go. You sing that, people are like, I'm done. I'll take that lost purse. I'll take that lost purse, please. I'm telling you, man. All by myself, Eric Carmen.
This is just terrible. This is ridiculous.
Eric Carmen, man. I'll tell you.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Baby come back by player. That's a 50-50 because it depends on how he's coming.
Okay, let me just say that I'm disturbed by your by your knowledge of all these weak sauce songs.
Hey man,
no, I'm just saying. I'm disturbed by the fact that you're saying that you would consider yourself instant defeat if someone walked out to what is clearly your personal playlist.
10cc. I'm not in love. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
out.
Scott Coker. Oh man, we're gonna be losing listeners. We're gonna lose listeners for this.
Oh, I got a call.
All right, Scott Coker. So Chris Cyborg is on her last fight in the UFC. She's fighting Felicia Spencer at UFC 240, which is shaping up to be an amazing card. July is the month of fights. It's her last fight. Scott Coker said, if you're free one day, give us a call. Like, Scott Coker was willing to take Chris Cyborg under his wing, bring her to Bellator. For me, Chris Cyborg needs to just make a deal with the UFC. Like, there's not better female competition in Bellator. No one's going to fight at 145. Name a 145-pound Bellator fighter. Is McFarlane a 145er? I thought she was a 135er.
I think she's 135 going up to 145. I think that's what it is. But the whole point. But you made a point. Nobody wants to fight Cyborg. Okay, even though Nunes put her down, and like I said, I think that even then that was a mistake on Cyborg's part. When I'm not taking anything away from Nunes' knockout. She was there. She did what she was supposed to do. It was Cyborg's fault for not respecting the power. But with that said,
okay,
nobody wants to fight Cyborg at all. Okay, I don't want to fight Cyborg. I don't want to fight Cyborg with an advantage. And when I mean advantage, I mean a pistol. I don't want to fight Cyborg with a pistol.
Okay. All right. So McFarlane is a 125-pound fighter. Julia Budd is the current reigning featherweight world champion for Bellator. I just don't think that there's enough fighters at 145 in the world. And so, that's one of those things where you just don't have enough fighters for Chris Cyborg to fight. That, Amanda Nunes, she went up there, fought Chris Cyborg, and then she was like, I'm not fighting at 145 ever again.
Yeah.
She knew that she escaped, and I mean, that's what it was, because you're not what is it? It was something like a 10x buffer factor better than Chris Cyborg.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, there's not enough fighters at 145, and going to Bellator may make you more money, but you've really only got one fight. That's Julia Budd, and after that, Julia has basically walked through all the other competition in Bellator. So if you put Julia Budd down, then what else is there left for you to do? I would just sign with the UFC, because because the UFC's relationship with Invicta at least gives you a funnel of fighters that you might someday fight.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. Most female fighters, they're dropping down to a weight because they know that medically Cyborg can't go to 135. And they know that they'll stay there, just so they know that they don't have to fight Cyborg.
The only fight, if I was Chris Cyborg, the only fight that I would want anyway would be the Amanda Nunes fight back. I would want that fight one more time, and I would tell him, I would say, listen, I'm gonna dispatch Spencer, and then after I dispatch Spencer, Amanda, we got to do it one more time, and it's win or go home. So if I win, then I'm gonna stay in, and I'm gonna retire as the UFC 145-pound featherweight champion, one of the greatest female fighters in the world, or you're going to beat me twice. It's not going to be a buffer factor fail, and you will then be the only woman to say that you beat Chris Cyborg not once but twice. It's one of those things where I think that's the only logical fight that's left for Cris Cyborg. Her career, unfortunately, as much as I would want to see her continue fighting, her career's coming to an end, and there's just not enough competition. She was too great too soon. Maybe 10, 15 years from now, we'll have enough 145-pound women that she could have fought, but it's just not today. Clearly, the competition is at 135, and it really isn't there at 135. It's there at 125, and then at 115. So there it is. So we should talk about this. You have said that you were going to sick Henry Cejudo on me.
Yes, I did. I have threatened Ryan many times that, one day he's going to walk to his desk at his job, and Henry Cejudo is going to have his feet propped up on his desk, chilling in his chair, looking at him.
UFC champ Henry Cejudo undergoing shoulder surgery after his fight with Marlon Moraes. Henry Cejudo is undergoing left shoulder surgery. Basically, he suffered that injury in the first round of his fight at UFC 238. Basically, it's a torn rotator cuff. There's a little tendon or something in there that he's ruptured or otherwise torn, and so he's got to have surgery on it. He's not going to fight till after the new year. So, given the fact that I currently weigh 2 3/4 Henry Cejudos. He's 5'4", and I'm 6'3", so I'm almost a foot taller than Henry Cejudo. I'm just gonna say that I'm currently not feeling the fear of Henry Cejudo sitting at my desk.
Man, it's all fun and games till he's sitting there chilling. Okay, it's all fun and games.
Listen, I don't have to worry about the takedown. I just got to thump his shoulder and it's over. Like he just go to the ground crying.
I just want a clip.
He's injured.
Of this. I want this clip. I want this clip of you talking this smack to Henry Cejudo so I can send it to him. You might be the motivation for him to get back 100% real quick.
Listen,
okay?
All I got to say is this. Henry Cejudo is a great fighter. He's a talented, decorated Olympian. Makes me proud to be an American.
Oh, proud to be. That'd be another song I'd be kind of afraid of if you come out.
Please.
I think I'd be kind of nervous on that.
The horse is dead. The ants have come and eaten the body. You are beating the skeleton.
I'm just saying, man. Anyway.
I think in a world of 8 billion people, there is only one person who thinks this joke is still funny.
It is.
And you're laughing.
I'm just saying.
But seriously, Henry Cejudo has done a bunch of amazing things. I just do not like this jackwagon persona that he's got, that he's trying to get attention with, and successful or not, wearing the props and all that kind of stuff. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. But
I don't think he needs to do it. That's the thing, is that having won the 135-pound title now, holding the 125-pound belt, being a gold medalist are all things that he should make his case for. But win some fights at 135, man. You've got Dominic Cruz to fight. You got Cody Garbrandt to fight. There's a lot of guys that you can go and fight at 135. Beat them all up, and you said you could go up to 145. Go ahead. Go to 145 and make your legacy that way. Don't make your legacy being some kind of jerk bully. I just don't like it.
You know what? I have to agree with you. You're right. I'm not a fan of this either. However, look at what it's done. It's got people talking about it. Now, there are some people that say that any news is good news. Okay, I'm not one to subscribe to that. I'm one to understand that, it has to happen like that, because when he was playing the face, nobody was really paying attention to him. It's only when he started playing the heel that people were like, oh, wow, look at that Henry Cejudo. No, he's actually a really legit fighter. He is very legit. Okay, the only person that was really a stop for him was Mighty Mouse.
But that's the thing, is that the reason why, and the reason why he wasn't getting any play before he took Mighty Mouse's belt was he wasn't a champion. He wasn't considered a champion in the MMA world, not counting his gold medal in the Olympics. So he was expecting that he was going to get the same type of persona at a lighter weight, and we already know that there is a prejudice towards lighter weights in the MMA world. But he was expecting to get that same billing that Mighty Mouse himself wasn't enjoying. And the fact is that he wasn't. But once he started beefing with TJ Dillashaw, who, what we've established now, is 135 pounds is the lowest weight that you could still get some level of respect. He started beefing with Dillashaw, and he beat Dillashaw at 125, and then he moved up, and now that he's won the 135-pound belt, now you're in a position where you actually have a platform. Why would you squander it by looking like a freaking amateur? Don't do that. Be the champ. Be the Olympian. Freaking wave that American flag. If you want to use your Hispanic heritage, I don't know if I think he's Mexican. If you want to wave that flag too, wave that and show the full breadth of your heritage. Like, there's so much more that Henry Cejudo can do to enrich the experience of a fan, even a casual fan in MMA, that wearing a fake crown and throwing out magic cards and playing with a dead snake, a fake rubber snake, is completely unnecessary. And if Henry Cejudo showed up at my desk, that is what the conversation would be.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, it's like I am passionate about this, and it's sad when a fighter as talented as Henry Cejudo would feel that his only recourse is to be a broke down, smaller version of Colby Covington.
See, everybody wants to compare him to Kobe
because
that's a really low bar to achieve right there.
But that's the whole point.
I think Cejudo is he's just airing it out there, But I don't think what Kobe does is borderline racist, and it's just borderline. It's just bad.
So,
okay,
we have to investigate. We have to look at why are people going to Colby Covington and saying that he's a Colby Covington and not a Conor McGregor? Why are people saying that he is? Why are they making that analogy and not the one with Conor, or saying that he's another Chael Sonnen? Like, there's a reason for that.
Okay, I agree, but I wouldn't call him another Chael Sonnen because Chael recites magic on the mic when it comes to MMA. All right, I mean, he has said some controversial things, but never like to the level that Kobe. Kobe is the lowest of the low.
Well, yeah, but once again,
Henry Cejudo is above that. I'm not saying he's better than. All right, on the scale of trash talk, there's Chael Sonnen, there's Chael Sonnen, there's Conor McGregor. Then I would say there's Henry Cejudo in there, but the dirtbag maggot is Colby Covington.
But that doesn't answer the why are people making the analogy that Henry Cejudo's antics are reminiscent of Colby Covington and not reminiscent of Chael Sonnen or Conor McGregor. Like, you can be a broke down Conor McGregor, and that's still kind of a compliment.
Because he for two reasons. One, you alluded to, because the 125ers are just not getting that respect, and two, because not that many people are laughing. Okay, that's the problem. They're not laughing with him; they're laughing at him. Okay, and he hasn't mastered the skill of making them laugh with him. Because
at the end of the day, the reason why Chael Sonnen is great at what he does is because Chael Sonnen he's got comedic timing and he's intelligent. The reason why Conor McGregor is so great at what he does is because he's got comedic timing and he's intelligent. I'm not knocking Henry Cejudo's intelligence. He just doesn't have comedic timing. Dude's not funny. You know, it's like that joke. It's like that joke about the guy who goes into jail and he's in jail, and at night people call out numbers and everybody laughs, and so he goes to his cellmate next door, and he's like, "Hey, why does everybody call out a number and then laugh?" He goes, "Oh, well, because we've been in here so long, we've heard all the jokes, and so each joke it has a number now, and we just call out the number, and everybody knows what joke you're telling." And so he goes, "Oh, let me try it. 25, nobody laughs." And he goes, "Why did anybody laugh?" He goes, "Well, some people can tell it, and some people can't." And that's what it is that Henry Cejudo is yelling out 25 because he knows that there's a joke associated with it that probably Chael did, that probably Conor McGregor did, that probably Muhammad Ali did, or maybe some wrestler like Ric Flair. But the fact is that some people can tell it and some people can't, and Henry Cejudo is one of those guys that just can't tell a joke. You can't tell a joke.
And there it is, people. Now you know why they're trying to compare him, but to compare him to Kobe, though, God.
Because Kobe can't tell a joke, and Kobe doesn't even understand how jokes are created, and he like Kobe is just he doesn't even understand what funny is.
Yeah, he's taking pages out of the art of the deal. Okay, he's not even trying to be funny. Okay, that's the thing. He's just being nasty. Okay, and there's a difference between I'm trying really hard to be funny and then I'm just being nasty. Okay, and due to the fact that we have children that listen to our podcast, I can't just be nasty.
Yeah,
I have to try and be funny. Okay. 50% of the time, I'd like to think I do a pretty good job.
Except when you start going in on these walk-in songs, like that is the so not funniest of all your material. Like it's just
Angel by Aerosmith.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I don't.
But let me tell you who is funny. Let me tell you who is funny.
What's that?
Francis Ngannou. That guy.
One Punch Man.
Funny. So, a few weeks ago was the NBA draft, and drafted number one by the New Orleans Pelicans was Zion Williamson. Well, if you ever look at Francis Ngannou and Zion next side by side, they look a lot alike.
Really?
So people are regularly confusing Francis Ngannou with Zion. And even though Zion is probably 4 or 5 inches taller, plays a different sport altogether, and doesn't speak French as far as I know. So Francis Ngannou, and KC sent me this, Francis Ngannou made a video on Instagram where he's wishing Zion good luck and saying that he regularly wears Zion's Duke jersey so that people will think that he's Zion.
And I actually see it. Oh my God.
So that is funny. Like, that's humor. That's so good. So I saw it. I thought it was funny. I thought we could just talk about it on the show just for a moment, so that if our fans make it to this part of the show,
because they're like, Jesus Christ, they're going.
This is like the longest episode we've done in 6 months. If they make it this far in the show, then at least they know that Francis Ngannou is at least what I would call funny.
Yes, and he does have a great sense of humor. You know, humor is something that comes naturally. All right, you don't have to force it, which unfortunately is what Cejudo is doing. He's forcing the funny. You don't have to force the funny. You just have to be funny. Just be natural. Be yourself. Okay.
Yep.
That's why you were able to go out with that WWE star.
So someone else who's really good on the mic is Darren Till. Like I think that Darren Till is good on the mic.
You know what? I forgot about him too. He is great on the mic.
He's just he said a few things that put he said a few things that put some people on on his bad side, because it was like, he was really talking about how focused he is on fighting and getting better, and he kind of misspoke that, that he was like, well, I don't care that I have a daughter that I haven't seen in 6 months. You're like, no, that's not what he means. He just means that he's focused. But, when it comes to having someone who just is charismatic and is really good on the mic, it's Darren Till. Now, Darren Till has kind of been that they say if you what is it? If you shoot for the moon, you land amongst the stars or whatever.
Yes.
That's kind of Darren Till. He had this meteoric rise, and then because he burst upon the scene and he defeated Cowboy Cerrone in spectacular fashion. Then he missed weight and beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and so everybody's like, "Oh, this is going to be the guy." And then he met Tyron Woodley's fist
and ate some knuckles.
Yeah. And then after that, he was gone for 6 months, and then met Jorge Masvidal.
Ugh.
And now it's kind of one of those things where he's been arrested, he's gotten in trouble, and Dana White has finally come out and said that he pushed Darren Till a little too soon. In the search to try to find another Conor McGregor, he thought he had him in Darren Till. And Darren Till has a lot of upside because Darren Till actually is making weight at 170 when he could easily be a 205er.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of wiggle room at 170, 185, and 205. But the fact is that Darren Till probably should have matured a little bit more going up the ranks. And at the end of the day, he pushed it too fast, and, the rest is kind of history.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, I hope to see him back in the ring soon. Maybe not as a welterweight, maybe as a middleweight, since he has trouble making welterweight. I would love to see him as a middleweight, but here's to hoping he gets back real soon.
Yeah, and stay out of trouble. Like, stop doing ridiculous
Quit
stuff.
stealing cabs, man. Really?
Yeah. Just as an aside, someone else who's out of trouble, BJ Penn. Like, what the heck?
Man, at least he got a win. Okay.
Like, did he get a win?
Yeah, he got a win because he had that. He had that bouncer, and he was manhandling him.
Oh, I thought you were talking about an official win. I'm like, that dude ain't won since 2010. What are you talking about?
That was an official win, okay? Because the way he manhandled that bouncer, that was an official win, okay? Yeah. We just need a Big John to come in there and break that up, okay?
Yeah, because his friend sure couldn't. Last one before we end this extra long segment. As many of you may know, or maybe you don't know, that the UFC has been lobbying the Nevada State Athletic Commission to expunge the loss on John Jones's record. So currently, John Jones has one loss. That one loss came as a disqualification due to 12-6 elbows on a downed opponent, the Hammer, Matt Hamill. And this is long years ago. Steve Mazzagatti, who we know Dana White does not like, does not respect, and would otherwise run him over with a car if he found him in the middle of the road dying.
Wow. A little harsh there, aren't you?
So the UFC and John Jones, I guess, are appealing this loss and trying to say that John Jones was clearly the better fighter, that this disqualification should be ruled a no contest because John Jones was on his way to win that fight anyway. And while there is some truth to it, a loss is a loss.
Exactly.
And it was 12-6 elbows. I went back and watched it. It was 12-6 elbows.
It wasn't just one, though. If it had been one, okay, I can see why this is it can be overturned, it can be expunged. But he threw multiple ones, and that's why I really can't justify what Dana's doing. Okay, I really can't. Mm-hmm. If one, okay, more than one, 2, 3 or more, yeah, you got a problem. You need to stop. You need to stop that. But, was it an extreme move compared to we've seen guys get, kneed in the groin multiple times in a match? Michael Bisping, who was it that he kneed in intentionally? Well, he's kneed an intentionally ground opponent. We've seen eye pokes galore. I mean, you name it, we've seen it, and they let it slide, even on multiple times.
Yeah,
okay.
I just watched it again in slow motion. It's 3.
Yeah,
he lands 1, and then he lands a couple of forearms, and then he lands 2 in a row, and that's when Mazzagatti comes in and disqualifies him. So yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, no one considers Jon Jones anything other than undefeated. Like, no one's saying, "Oh, but Matt Hamill." No, Jon Jones, except for his record being, having that 1 on his record, everyone considers him undefeated.
I don't. I think he lost 2 fights to DC due to himself.
Oh well, if you're going to count DC losing fights to DC, then theoretically I'm 6-0 versus you.
Oh my God! Here we go with this. Okay, so Casey's not here, so you're gonna try and land. There was no contract signed, sir. Okay, no contract.
No, we had agreements that are recorded on this show. Don't make me go in the archives and pull up all of the agreements.
Okay, so here's what's going down, people. Okay. Sometime during the summer, we're going to end this bickering between me and him about this. This must happen. This must happen, because you know what? He can sit there and say he's going to be 6-0 and everything like that, but he's going to remember that 1 that he's going to catch. That
you know what?
L.
You know what's going to happen, right? I'm gonna whoop you around the ring, and then someone's going to run in and disqualify me, and I'm going to be carrying this 1, and you and I will both know that you didn't really beat me.
Oh, is that what's going down? Okay, all right.
But
you heard it here, people.
But what I got to say is that in so much as they're trying to get this 1 loss removed from Jon Jones' record, Matt Hamill was like, "Hey, bro, if you want to get this loss back, I'll just rematch you."
Man, some people do anything for the money. That's all I got to say about that. I don't think that's a wise decision right there.
Okay, because, Matt Hamill is 42 years old. Jon Jones just turned 31.
All right, let's not trip on the 40. I'm 2 years older than Mr. Hamill there.
Okay,
Mr.
yeah,
Hamill.
but we gonna call you out if you start calling out Jon Jones.
No, if I start calling Jon Jones, you need to be worried, because that means I went to the gun show over the weekend and I'm packing heat. Okay,
well,
because
I'm not
mess with that man. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you were calling out Jon Jones for a fight, we would be like, "John, you're 44 years old. Come on, man."
But Randy Couture, that's all I want to say. Randy Couture.
You are not natural.
Okay. I'm just gonna say that's what they see. They saw Randy Couture do it. We're looking at how old is Joel Romero? He's like 65, right? He's something like that.
Hey,
okay?
man, if you're built like if you're built like Joel Romero, I say go more power to you. Like Dan Henderson, that dude, he was like 100, still fighting, but he's knocking folks out. So you can't really what are you gonna say?
Yeah, exactly. So there people who are over the age of 40 that are trying to say I still got it. They're invoking those fighters. Okay, yeah. Thinking if they can do it, I can do it too. Despite this nagging knee injury and the fact I need icy hot every night.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that I gotta say is that every one of those fighters that we named, even though they were in their mid 40s, they were signed to the UFC and active fighters. Matt Hamill is currently unsigned, as far as I can tell, and even Tito Ortiz, who is also a geriatric, don't even want to fight him. He's like, that ain't worth my time.
Yeah, because he knows he'll put him through the ring. That's the reason why.
So Jon Jones, I don't know if he's going to take that rematch or not. I seriously doubt it. But I do think it's ballsy to say, I'll fight Jon Jones so that he can get this loss.
But if Jon Jones said, "Yeah, man, let's go ahead and do this right quick," what if he did say yes?
It'd be a huge fight. It really would.
Yeah, because we're going to see the first murder in the UFC. I mean, goodness. That's
he'd be like, he'll start invoking that of Deontay Wilder, where he's like, I am paid. This is the only place in the ring where you can murder someone and get paid for it.
Yes. And he'll be paid for that.
Yeah, okay. Like John Jones, the first death in the UFC ring. Like, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Yep. So, murder in the ring. That would be a promo video. Murder in the ring. They're playing sad songs and everything by Sarah McLachlan all the way through the promo, and in the arms of an angel.
Okay, all right,
things like that.
For real, like
yeah. I was just saying.
You keep going to this well, man. The well is dry.
The
well is so dry that dry, man. Rain evaporates before it gets to the bottom of the well. Like,
it's dry.
You got to stop going to that well. Like,
it's dry like a Chardonnay, man. When you pair that buttery Chardonnay with a nice salmon on a good summer day, it's got a nice warm breeze. It's butter. It's dry like that.
You know the L is silent in that word.
What Chardonnay?
No, in salmon.
Salmon. Depends on what part of the nation you're from. I'm from the Midwest. Okay. You're from the South somewhere.
Yeah, and people in the South and in the North know how to say salmon.
Salmon.
I bet you say sword too.
No, I say sword. I am not from the head. I'm not going to say that because there might be some listeners there and they might run up on us. And I'm like, my name is Ryan Smith. John Keys is over there. I might do that. So.
All right. Well, that is Finding the Angles. Everything that we wanted to talk about in the past 3 weeks that we weren't on. Now we're going to go into the fight card, looking at the pay-per-view coming up, UFC 239, on the fight card. This is the fight card. This is where we look at the fights that are planned for Saturday night. UFC 239, Jones versus Santos, Saturday, July 6, 2019, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is International Fight Week. This is when all of the great fighters from UFC past, present, and future descend on Las Vegas for a great celebration of fighting and fandom in the great city of Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got 5 fights on the card. All of them we're going to flash fight pick, and we're going to make sure that George G Money Stallworth picks these and KC picks these. If you're listening and you want to pick them, you pick them too. Let us know. We're going to see. This is a great card. We've got Michael Chiesa versus Diego, the Nightmare Dream Sanchez.
Nightmare. Just a Nightmare.
No, he's got like 3 names, wasn't he? He's got Nightmare, he's got Dream, and then something like Lion Cub or something.
No, hold on.
It's like Lion King or something.
Yeah, Simba, something like that. Hold on. Diego.
Yeah. So yeah, because he's got another one. He was Nightmare, then he was the Dream, and then now he's like, not Lionheart, but something.
Lionheart. No, it is Lionheart.
He's trying to steal Anthony Smith's nickname.
Yeah, and then El Corazon de Leon. All right, or Lionheart.
Oh, that's Lionheart in Spanish.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm looking here.
All right, there you go. Jan Blachowicz versus Luke Rockhold. Finally, Luke Rockhold's showing his face again at 205 pounds. Like, this guy was a 85-pounder, got no dice, couldn't get it back into the title hunt, and now he's trying at 205. This is not a good idea for me, I don't think. I think Luke Rockhold's going to find tough sledding at 205, but we'll see. Ben Askren, Funky, versus Jorge Masvidal. This is Jorge's chance right here. This is his chance because he could be the first person to put a loss on Ben Askren and make his case for a fight with Kamaru Usman. That's a great fight. You got in the co-main event, Amanda Nunes coming back into action versus the preacher's daughter, Holly Holm. And then in the main event of the evening, light heavyweight champion John Bones Jones versus Thiago the Hammer Santos. Dude has the Thor's hammer tattooed on his chest, man.
That's when you know you're just dangerous. Was he born with that tattoo? Is that like a birthmark?
I think it was kind of like Harry Potter and how he got his birthmark. Thiago Santos got a big hammer on his chest.
I can believe that. I'm down with that.
I prefer it better than Brock Lesnar's goofy looking sword through the throat thing that he's got on his chest.
You know, there's usually a story behind that, and I just want to know how much alcohol was involved.
This is one where I can agree with you on that. All right, we got 5 fights to pick. We're going to pick the entire main card because it is that good of a card. Michael Chiesa versus Diego Sanchez. Who you got?
Diego Sanchez. Michael Chiesa is not going to be able to handle the nightmares. Endless endurance tank.
I'm going to tell you like this. Chiesa is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist. This fight's going to go to the ground. It's only a matter of time before Chiesa gets Diego Sanchez all wrapped up. It's going to be a tap. Fight's not going to go all the whole distance. I got Michael Chiesa. John Blachowicz versus Luke Rockhold. Who you got?
Man, I want to go with Luke Rockhold. I think he may have found his niche. I mean, I think the reason why he left 185 not only because he wasn't going to find any gold there, but because he got embarrassed by one blind Michael Bisping.
All right. I got Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz is a solid fighter. He's 205 pounds. Luke Rockhold, unless he's been doing the work to bulk up to 205, if he's just not cutting as much, it's not going to be enough, and you're going to find that Jan Blachowicz is much bigger than you were prepared for. So I got Jan Blachowicz by unanimous decision. Funky Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal. This, I think, might be fight of the night.
Easily could be final night. I'm going with Ben Askren. I think he's gonna out wrestle the Street Fighter, the protege of Kimbo Slice, and I'm saying a lot there because I really like Jorge. I really do, but not here. It's not gonna be pretty.
You know, the problem that I have with Jorge Masvidal is that I'm trying to think through when was the last time I saw him fight a pure wrestler.
I don't think he has.
And so that's the challenge, is that when you look at someone like Robbie Lawler has kind of fought a little bit of everybody, and so he was ready for Ben Askren. I'm not feeling like, Jorge Masvidal lost to Damian Maia. Jake Ellenberger is a true wrestler, but that was at the end of Ellenberger's career. Benson Henderson was a true wrestler.
Right.
I'm not seeing a lot of success versus pure wrestlers. So I'm going with Ben Askren because Jorge Masvidal, unless he catches him, which is always the chance, Jorge Masvidal could catch Ben Askren, but I think Ben Askren's going to control him for three rounds, and Ben Askren's going to emerge victorious there. Co-main event: Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm.
I was asked this earlier today, and I've been wrestling back and forth with it. I'm going to give it to Nunes. She's scrappier. She has not taking anything away from Holly Holm. She's a decorated kickboxer, no doubt about it. But it's going to be everything for Amanda to get in there and just really brawl it out with her. You do not stand up with her. Brawl it out with her, okay?
I think this is Amanda Nunes is just going to coast. I think this is going to go decision, 5-round decision. Amanda Nunes comes out winning. Holly Holm looks like she got hit by a train.
Yeah, many trees, many trees.
I said train, but trees will work too.
Yes, that'll work too.
And in the main event of the evening, John Bones Jones versus Thiago Santos. Is there a chance that Thiago Santos becomes the first to truly beat John Bones Jones?
Yes, just like it was a chance for Ngannou to knock out Junior Dos Santos. I do believe that Thiago has the power to do it. I think he has, he's seen enough scraps that he should be able to stand to hang in there with John Jones. John Jones is still a force of nature, though. I still see John Jones beating him pretty soundly if he has his way with him.
I think John Jones will. Jon Jones will win this fight easily. I don't think that it goes all 5 rounds. I think what happens is you get 3 rounds of very entertaining back and forth, and you get to the 4th round, and by that point you'll start seeing Thiago Santos slows down, and you get a finish late 4th, early 5th round. Thiago Santos is such a powerful striker that it is possible that he can land something, and if he does, more power to him, but he's going to have to do it twice before anybody's going to legitimately give him a chance at truly being called a champion. And you know, so I'd like to see it. I mean, I really would like to see it, not because I don't like Jon Jones, but because of the fact that this is Thiago Santos represents that guy, that Matt Serra, you know. That Holly Holm to a Ronda Rousey.
That Chris Weidman to Anderson Silva.
That Chris Weidman to Anderson Silva. That Andy Ruiz Jr. to Anthony Joshua. Like that is the guy. There's always that one guy for a champion who is undefeated. And I'm going to say undefeated because I'm not giving that win by disqualification any juice. They all run into that roadblock.
A loss is a loss is a loss. I have to disagree.
I just ignore it. I'm ignoring it. He's undefeated. There was no reason that Matt Hamill was going to reverse his position. Matt Hamill was not going to win that fight. So as far as I'm concerned, Jon Jones has a loss on his record, but I don't acknowledge it because
you're living in denial, sir. Okay.
I mean, I don't acknowledge it. He has a loss, but why would I acknowledge that loss? Jon Jones is on like a 15-fight win streak.
That's fine, but still, okay. Even George St. Pierre had a loss. He had 2 losses.
No, but see, George St. Pierre got beat both times by his opponent. He got choked out by Matt Hughes, and he got knocked out by Matt Serra.
Yes.
So. No, did Jon Jones get knocked out by Matt Hamill? Did Jon Jones get choked out? No, he got DQ'd.
He got DQ'd for intentionally throwing an illegal strike. So yeah, he really, if anything, that's even worse because that was an intentional act. It was premeditated.
So no, it wasn't premeditated.
He thought about it. He threw it not once, not twice, but 3 times.
That premeditated would suggest that he thought about it in the back of in the dressing room and was like, "I'm going to throw an illegal 12-6 elbow." That's premeditated.
So you're saying that he was caught in lust, in a battle lust, and just went for whatever he knew. Because only thing I'm going to say
it'd be the same thing like Greg Hardy when Greg Hardy threw the knee to the head. Dude was fighting. He lost his composure and threw the knee to the head. He knew that he wasn't supposed to do it, but he was just in the moment. Jon Jones was he was 9-0, so he was brand new to the sport to the UFC. He had fought 3 times before, and that's what happened. He was still very young in the sport. He wouldn't make that same mistake today. So you know.
I'll say this to counteract that. There's a difference between what happened with Greg Hardy, what happened with Jon Jones. With Greg Hardy, okay, you can at least argue that there was a timing issue there. With Jon Jones, he willingly threw a strike that was not legal at the time anywhere that had the unified rules of MMA.
I don't know what you're talking about with a timing issue with Greg Hardy. That this wasn't like the guy was a completely downed opponent. It wasn't like he was coming up or anything where it was a second too early. No, the dude was down.
I don't know about that.
That's why they stopped the fight. They stopped the fight. You can look at it after the show.
I will look at that.
We're like an hour and 30 minutes. We're beyond almost 2 hours.
People are going to love it. All right. Trust me. Come on. People are going to love it.
Follow us on social media. On Twitter, I'm at CST Ryan.
And I'm at Keys to Victory. And that's Keys with an ES.
You can check out the website at www.combatsportstalk.com. On Instagram, I'm at Combat Sports Talk.
CST Ryan. And I'm at Keys to Victory. Once again, Keys with an ES.
Yeah, that was Instagram.
That's Instagram. Yeah,
yeah. You can find us on all your platforms. Every podcasting platform that you listen to, you can find our show. We've got merchandise. Just go to our website and click our merchandise link. It's on Amazon. And we've got a section for live events where I'm hoping that I can finally connect with George G Money Stallworth this weekend to do a live recording reaction show of the fights that are happening. But I know that he's coaching a Muay Thai event on Saturday. Anything else before we go?
We forgot to talk a little bit more about Artem Lobov's great victory over Paulie Malignaggi, and how some people are saying that maybe the current breed of boxers aren't just that great of boxers if they got beat by an MMA fighter. That's just throwing it out there.
I didn't actually. I was more interested in what they were going to use for gloves than I was for that fight. I burned out on that fight before. Like, I was super excited about it, and then I burned out on it, and I was like, whatever. So Artem Lobov won the fight, but it was by decision. By most accounts, I heard that it was just a lackluster fight, that it really wasn't that great. I didn't watch it, so I maybe I'll have an opinion next week on the next episode of Combat Sports Talk.
Episode 100. 100. Centennial. The century mark. The passing grade. 100.
All right, here we go. Our theme music is composed by Scott McCurry at scottdeancountry.com. KC Onyebuchi produced our lead-ins. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Combat Sports Talk. For John Keys, I'm Ryan Smith, reminding you to keep your hands up, your chin tucked, and throw bombs.